Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Finally, this is Archbishop John Lewis Jones Jr. Uh, coming to you with another episode of Bishop's Word of Wisdom. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Uh, like and subscribe because I know it's been a few weeks, but I've been doing some traveling and uh, just different places and not able to get on here like I needed to get on here to be consistent. So please forgive me. Okay. Uh, uh, I'm sure everyone has been watching the news and uh, watching what's happening here in our world today. One of the things that I wanted to deal with is uh, this the murder of Jalen Walker, and I am calling it murder because that's exactly what it was. It was murder, and my confusion over some things. I am confused over some things, and I'll share with you what I'm confused about. Um, here in the state of Michigan, here in the state of Michigan, when you obtain a concealed weapons permit or CCW, there's a class that you're required to take. It's called the use of deadly force. Okay. Um, in that particular class, they teach you about when you can and when you can't use deadly force. Okay. So this is my confusion. Um, uh, they teach in that class that if someone is running away from you, you cannot shoot them because if you shoot them in the back, you will be charged with attempted murder, if they pass away, homicide, because the threat is no longer a viable threat. They teach you that in the class. Sometimes this class is taught by off-duty police officers. Sometimes it's taught by um, former police officers, retired police officers that have been um, injured, hurt on the job, uh, people that know the law. So my confusion is, and let me say this: my late Bishop Earl J. Wright Sr., one of his elders, um, and I was at 36th District Court with Bishop Wright when Bishop Wright was talking to a judge, and the judge said to him, he said, "Your elder is going to jail because of what he did." And I'm not going to mention the elder's name, but he shot someone. I guess someone that stole his property, stole some of his property, some of his kids' property, and he shot this individual in the back. And the elder went to jail, and matter of fact, unfortunately, he passed away in jail. Um, and so the use of deadly force says that if someone is running away from you, here in Michigan, you're taught you cannot shoot them because um, they're no longer a viable threat. Matter of fact, they tell you that even if someone breaks in your house, if you are about to confront them, say if they turn around and they're running out of the house, you still can't shoot them because they're running out of your house and the threat is no longer viable. No longer viable threat. Okay, so if that's the law, please tell me if the threat has been eliminated. Tell me, how did you shoot Jalen Walker in the back? Uh, Talk to me. Tell me how you shot this man in the back. When he was running away, why would you confront him and then begin to unleash a barrage of bullets? More than 95 shots, 60 of which hit him. And justify it. I'm sorry. And if that's not good enough, why don't we go ask the family of Rashard Brooks down in Atlanta? Remember, he was at that fast food. I think he was at Wendy's, and here he was at Wendy's. He's running through. He's running away. The police had already searched him and discovered that he did not have a weapon on him. They're running away from. He's running away from them. And what happens? The fella shoots him, kills him, shoots him in the back. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. You have your you you have his driver's license. His car was still there. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to run? Eventually, you'll catch up with him. Look, and if that's not good enough, let's go to South Carolina and talk to the family of Walter Scott. Y'all remember Walter Scott? Walter Scott was a older gentleman who was just hip hopping, just skipping, just running away from the police. Fella stopped, aimed, shot him several times, killed him. I believe that officer is now, or that person that shot him is now, because he's no longer officer, is now in um, jail. He's now in jail serving time because he was convicted of murder. So my confusion is, um, either the threat is no longer a viable threat, or um, uh, and you can't say, well, you guys are civilians. Threat is a threat. Whether you're a civilian, whether you are an officer, whether you're a child, no matter who you are, a threat is a threat. A man with a gun or knife, threat. A threat is a threat. Please don't try to categorize a threat. A threat is a threat. So um, here you have this person that ran away. So Jalen um, Walker. Now, here's my more of my trepidation that I have with this situation is they're saying that he shot at police. Okay, I heard one officer in another city in another state say that when he reviewed the tape, he saw a firecracker go off. Okay, so if it were a firecracker, then he wasn't shooting at police. Then they say that, okay, they knew he was armed. Okay, they found a weapon in the car. But here's my anxiety again. They found a weapon in the car, which means he didn't have it on him when they shot him. So, so again, unarmed black man, unarmed black man gets 60 bullets pumped into him. Okay, I'm very disappointed with law enforcement. So another point. So here you have 8 police officers, 7 of which were white police officers, 1 African American. They say. Now see, if I'm that African American that's on the force, they would have threw me off the force, or either probably would have shot me that night because I would have been yelling out at that point, "Stop shooting! Stop!" You would have heard my name. You would have heard my voice on the video telling them to stop shooting, but they just kept shooting. They just kept firing at him. Okay, so, and then it is believed, I'll say, it was reported unto me that they said that one fella put that he emptied his clip, took um, his secondary clip, his extra clip out of his holster, put it in his gun, cocked it, and started firing some more. Okay, target practice. For me, there's no other way to describe it. Target practice. So then, what do? They put these guys on paid leave. Why should you be on paid leave? You murdered this young man. The family probably will because I'm sure the city um, of Akron is going to have to pay millions of dollars um, because there's going to be some sort of wrongful death suit or threat of a suit um, that's going to be launched or filed against the city. Okay, uh, but in the meantime, this young man lies on a slab in the morgue. Um, Young man in his 20s lost his life, no longer alive. Uh, and someone that's watching this video may say, well, um, why did he run? Here's a theory. Um, some people run when they're scared. Okay. Growing up in Philly, in church, there was a fellow by the name of Ricky Harrison. He eventually, believe he became a Maryland state trooper. When we were in church, and the Spirit of God would get on him, he would start laughing. Okay, well, why am I bringing that up? Because sometimes people react differently in different situations. Everyone doesn't react the same. Now, understand, some young brothers and sisters, when they see police, they run. Why? Because they figure the outcome is going to be bad. Okay, well, they shouldn't have ran. Well, I'm sure that everybody that's watching this that is Caucasian will say that. Us African Americans say, that could be a normal reaction. Why? Because you know that the outcome is going to be bad. You know that it may not be favorable for you if you somehow stick around. So I'm confused about that. Um, uh, uh, I'm confused why all of these police officers then would, especially your captain, then would back you in a situation like this. Confused about it. But then I saw that there was one brother on TikTok in Dallas. He's a retired Dallas police officer, and he called them sorry. He called Akron Police Department sorry, and so um, okay, those are his words. I know police officers. I know several police officers who put on, and someone can say, well, they put on a uniform every single day, and they, that's true, but they don't go into a dangerous situation every day. Now, here's here's another point I want to make. A few weeks ago, there was a mass shooting in Texas, Uvalde, Texas, I believe. Okay, so here you have a group of officers standing outside the school, scared to confront the gunman inside, debating on who was going to go in. Okay, you got seven. Okay, bad officers who can confront an unarmed black man. I'm not talking about that particular um, police department, but police departments all across the country. You bad. You got a gun in your hand. You got a 9 millimeter, or you got a 40 cal. Some instances you may have a 45 on your hip. Whatever you have on your hip, you bad, man. You off duty. You got your 380. You got your your compact nine. You bad. Okay, you bad in every situation. Why? Because you got that gun on your hip. And you have the authority of the full authority of the law behind you. But then these eight punks, or not, uh, however many was, 12 police officers that stood outside the school, that stood outside the school watching and waiting for a that's some background noise. We outside, y'all. Oh, sister Biko called her and her husband so kind. We were just sitting here chilling, amen, in their very lovely backyard setting, amen, doing this podcast. And so here you have these brothers, whether they're 12, 13, 14, however many it was, that's outside. So then the police chief in Uvalde says, well, I wasn't the first police officer on the scene. Okay. Hey, in other words, nothing like passing the buck, right? Okay. So I'll pass the buck on that. Okay. Then you hear one guy, one I guess he was a sniper, I guess, or he had his long rifle out on the scene. He said that he had the young fella in his sights before he went into school, but he was waiting for the order to shoot. I'm sorry, if I see a fella with a long gun heading into a school, I'm sorry, put me in jail after. Okay, lock me up after. But if he's heading into the school where children are, I'm sorry, y- y'all just gonna have to handcuff me after I blow his brains out. Okay, but his brains are gonna be scattered out all over the street. Why? I saw him going to the school with a long gun. Okay, he wasn't heading. Now, if he was heading there with some books in his hand, okay, but come on, he was going there with a long gun. And he was getting ready to do damage. So, or maybe he was gonna meet. No, not with a long gun in his hand. He was just going to show somebody the gun. Well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. He shouldn't have been bringing it. Why? Because guns are not allowed on school property. So lock me up. Okay, so but you got these guys, okay, who's so bad when it comes to unarmed black men, but they're gonna stand in there and they can hear the shots from outside. They can hear the shots inside. And they stand there. I'm not gonna go in. You go in. No, you go. No, I'm not going. Okay, but you bad. You can confront an unarmed black man, but you can't go in there and do what you're trained to do with one single person in there. And then you turn around, catch him, take him into custody without event, without there being any type of altercation, without there being any type of confrontation. Okay, I'm sorry, because uh, now there, I, I have a problem with that. Okay, I have a problem when you took Dylan Roof into custody in South Carolina after he had murdered 9 innocent people in the AME church. And what did you do? Oh, hey, you want to go to Burger King? So they took him to Burger King. You just murdered some people. Okay, you're not going to want to go to Burger King. You're not going to want me to take you to Burger King. That's not what you're going to want. Okay? But they took him to Burger King. Well, how come all these um, Caucasian boys can do this and they get off, and then you're going to take out a, a, uh, take out all these unarmed? Okay? These fellas. So when they locked old boy up from Monday, 4th of July, Monday, when they locked him up from Monday, from killing 7 people now, they turned around and when you see they surround his car. The lead person uh, uh, takes and what does he do? He puts his gun away so he could handcuff the guy on the ground. He puts his gun away. He puts his gun away so he can handcuff the guy. The rest of them kept the guns out, but he put his gun away so he can handcuff the guy on the ground. Okay? Come on. If that were a black man, what would have happened? Come on. He would have taken, and all you would have heard down the street, firecrackers. They wouldn't have been firecrackers. They'd have been shots because they wouldn't have given them an opportunity to get out the car. Why? Oh, I'm sorry. If you're black, you're considered a threat. If you're white, oh, the threat is no longer a viable threat. So we'll let him go to jail and sit and think of his crimes. But he gets to still live out his days. No. And yet you can sit there and tell me that these things are not racially motivated. God forbid. Come on now. God forbid. Where is our country going with all of this? Where are we headed with all of this hatred? With all of this hatred for unarmed African American men. Okay, so here is one of the points that I'm coming to. And I'll be very honest. I'm a man of faith, obviously, pastor of church, so I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of great faith. I have great faith in God. Uh, but I'll be honest, I don't have great faith in the American justice system. I don't have great faith in the American uh, policing system. Police system, I don't have great faith in that system. Um, I don't have a lot of faith in those who police our streets. Now, and let me share this. Um, what makes these police feel so secure that they can shoot these unarmed black men and put what makes these guys so secure that they can put 60 bullets into a fellow? You know why? Because they know in most cases they're not going to be held accountable. So that's what makes them feel so secure that they can put 60 bullets into a fella and not be held accountable. Come on, how ridiculous is that? Come on, how arrogant. How dare you be so arrogant where you think nothing is going to happen to you so you can take target practice? Who gave you the right to take target practice? Well, he ran. So what? Running is not a crime. Last I heard, run if you're unarmed and running away, that's not a crime. Now, okay, um, uh, yesterday I was watching an episode of Blue Blood. Uh, Episodes come on a certain station all day on Wednesdays. I watched an episode of Blue Blood. This particular episode, a garage door opened up near the end. Garage door opened up. There was a fella standing there. He was Caucasian, bald head. He had an assault rifle. I don't think it was an AR-15, but he had an assault rifle in his hand. He had assault rifle. It opens up, and there may be 20 officers just waiting for him. Garage opens up, garage door comes open, and he knows that they're there, and they know that he's there. About 20 officers, they behind their cars, and some of them had shields, but they had their weapons up. And as the garage door opens, he opens fire with his assault rifle. All of these officers took and began to shoot at him. Two things. Number one, he was shooting at them with an assault rifle. Number two, this was television. Okay, so I'm sure after the director yelled "cut," old boy got up and they said, "Hey man, good scene," and he got up and walked away. Um, Jalen Walker can't walk away; he's dead. Rashard Brooks not coming back. Walter Scott not coming back. Um, Tamir Rice, 12-year-old. Oh, and by the way, mentioning Tamir Rice, the fella, the cop that took his life, just got hired at a in a very very small town in upstate Pennsylvania. Um, he's now they're going to pay him $15 an hour to patrol that small town of 650 some odd people. They're going to pay him to patrol that particular small town. And then the mayor says, "Well, I didn't know that this is who we were hiring." They got his last name is messed up. His last name was jacked up. Okay, police officers, do me a favor, please. And if anyone responds to this, please don't don't give me an answer or give us an answer that um, you wouldn't believe if we told you. Okay, so we turn around. If I turn around and gave you an answer to a question that you posed to me, um, and you look at me and say, "Come on, you expect me to believe that?" Well, don't give me an answer, and then expect me to believe it. Okay. Secondly, I say this to law enforcement because what I'm seeing on social media is that some people are coming on there and they're saying you have to be able to give the benefit of the doubt to police officers. Okay, here's a theory, just a theory. How about you give the benefit of the doubt to black men, black women? How about you give us the benefit of the doubt? Oh, okay. And then I heard somebody say, well, all police officers are not bad. All police officers are not criminals. All police officers are not murderers. Okay, just a theory. Okay, all black men and women are not killers. All black women, men and women are not criminals. We have not taken and committed crimes. Give us the same benefit of the doubt. Okay, so remember, like and subscribe. This is Bishop's with John L. Jones Jr., Archbishop John L. Jones Jr. His words of wisdom. So I just want to come up with here because these things have bothered me. And I'm watching these scenes over and over again. So here's my um, conclusion. I'm afraid because I have a son. I'm also afraid because I have grandsons. I'm afraid because of my son. My son is 6'4", big fella, 6'4", 200 something pounds. He looks very intimidating. He's an imposing figure. He's a big fella. He looks like he could do some damage because he's a big fella. Okay. He doesn't even own a gun. He doesn't even have a gun in his house. He doesn't carry a gun. He doesn't believe in having a gun in his house. Okay, when my family and I went to visit him Christmas, we drove down there, and uh, because I have a permit, carry my weapon with me. But I left it. I left it in his car. I left it in my car. I left it in the car. I locked it up in the car. Why? Because I know how he feels about weapons. So I didn't take it in his house. I wanted to respect. I respected him. Okay, man. Not gonna put it in your house. I'm leaving it in the car. Okay. So someone would look at him and immediately think, "Oh, Brian is a threat." I have a grandson, Franco, probably about six. My son's 6'4". Franco probably about 6'2". Probably. But he's bigger than Brian. He's 300 pounds. He's a big fella, enormous. He's a drummer at our church. He's 17 years old. He wouldn't hurt a flea. He don't have the ability to hurt a flea. He's not going to bother you. But he looks big. He looks imposing. Imposing, rather. Big, imposing figure. Have grandsons down in, well, the grandsons in Georgia, uh, Devin. Smaller fella, but I'm still afraid for him. Marcus, still afraid for him. Still afraid for Carter up here in Michigan. He's 8 years old. Nias, 6 years old. And I think Marcus, let's see, Marcus is 17 years old. And Devin is 21, 22, 23 years old, somewhere around there. So I'm afraid for my grandkids because they have to grow up in this world with these police officers who have a trigger finger, especially when they see black men. Okay, now here, I think that's my conclusion. But here is my conclusion, part A, part B, rather. Um, Police officers, and I say this respectfully, if you are afraid of me, if you are afraid of my family, if you are afraid of black men, um, you can't police me. If I intimidate you, you can't police me. Um, I don't. I've never been to jail, never been arrested. Thank God. Um, crimes don't commit crimes. They have a good, excellent driving record. Um, but you can't. If you're afraid of me, you can't police me. You can't do that because you're. I already am stepping into the situation with a disadvantage. I come to the situation with a disadvantage because you see me, you're already afraid of me. Because of the color of my skin, you're already afraid. If I have on a baseball cap, I don't normally wear, I'm dressed down today, but normally you see me, I have on a suit, tie, could have on a decent pair of shoes. I may wear my clergy collar, okay, but I don't have it on every day. Sometimes I wear a jogging suit. Now, my jogging suit that I wear, I have Archbishop John O. Jones Jr. The reason I did that, I took that after Bishop P.A. Brooks when I seen his jogging suit. But also, I use that now as an identifier. Okay, so I want you to see this. So I'm not a threat to you. So when you see me, man, he came out here with a jogging, yeah. And you look, you see my name tag on it. In other words, I'm not a threat. Okay, I come in peace and have my bishop's insignia on the other side. So I come in peace. So America, I had to put this together because I want somebody to answer me, okay, and tell me the difference between use of deadly force, and I'm gonna put something on TikTok as well. Use of deadly force, okay, and with a civilian, use of deadly force. Okay, so does it mean one thing to civilians when it comes to police officers? Does it mean something different? Please let us know what the rules are. If you tell me the rules, guess what? We'll follow them. But you can't come with two sets of rules. If you do that, it's like we used to play football growing up on Hatfield Street. Okay, when we would go to other neighborhoods and play football, and they told us the rules at the beginning of the game, told us we playing them in football, and they told us the rules. Okay, if you get to that pole right there, if you get to the pole, that's a touchdown. Okay. And then we turn around 5 minutes later, we get to the pole touchdown, they stand there shaking their head. We didn't mean that pole. We meant the other pole, the second pole. But you didn't say the second pole. You said the first pole. So they changed the rules in the middle of the game. That's what America. That's what we feel like in the black community. That you guys keep changing the rules on us. Tell us what the rule is. Stand by it, and then we'll abide by that. This is Archbishop John Lewis Jones Jr. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's pray for one another. Let's pray for America. Again, it's Archbishop John Lewis Jones Jr. saying we'll see you next week. Amen, and God bless you.